Welcome back to Always On Call, the show about caregiving by caregivers. I'm Chris McCabe. Nearly a quarter of U.S. adults are in what's considered the sandwich generation, pulling double duty, taking care of their kids and aging parents. It takes a lot of coordination, emotional energy, and effort to take care of a loved one with dementia, your children, and yourself. On top of that, many families have to navigate cultural expectations for caregiving. It's no surprise that sandwich caregiving can be difficult, but finding a way to navigate it all that gives you time to breathe can make it more manageable. Today, we're welcoming Alma Valencia to the show. Alma is a California native, married with 2 kids, and taking care of her mom living with FTD dementia. She's here to talk about balancing sandwich caregiving, normalizing dementia, and keeping in touch with your culture. Alma, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you do such a beautiful job at keeping your mom involved and active. How do you normalize dementia in your everyday life?
Well, we don't let dementia hold us back. We are a family of sandwich generation, multi-generation, so we have a lot of different things going on. I either have my little girl in sports activities or math tutoring, school activities. So if I have to take mom with me, she comes along with me, and I have different tools like my caregiver sweatshirt from Mom of My Mom, Jacqueline Revere. She's amazing. I love my sweatshirt. I wear it everywhere, even on days that I don't have my mom, just to kind of normalize the idea that there's caregivers out in the wild, So we're out there, and if we have our loved ones with us, we have to bring them along. And that sweatshirt is amazing because it allows other people to kind of give us space. And just, we're just doing everyday things, just normal life.
I love that because your daughter is still of school age. So what kind of accommodations did you need to make to balance her needs with your mom's needs?
Oh, my kids. I call them my kids because they tag team on me. My mom both of them want my attention. So I have to kind of figure out a good balance between both of them. I make sure that my little one is very involved with her friends and just extracurricular activities so that I can give my mom the space and the time to, especially when she's sundowning, so that she can relax. So it's just a balancing game between both of them, but I try to do my best.
What are some ways your culture has impacted your role as a caregiver?
Culture is a big thing for me. Whether it's music, food, and just family in general. I try to include it as much as possible, and just, to kind of give the world a little bit of what our family life is. And also for my kids, I want to really engage them in the cultural life, like what I grew up with my grandmother. So food is very much a big part of it. And, but the other part of culture, of our Mexican culture, is trying to break those generational ideals of the female has to be the caregiver, male caregivers are unheard of, or if they are, it's they're just off on their own. So just trying to really change those generational ideas. It's a long way to go though, but I do my best.
Well, I love to see it, and I love that you're doing it and you're out there being vocal. But you juggle so much and you still find time for you. What is your advice to other caregivers to maintain that normalcy through the chaos of caring and being a mom?
I have to admit, in the beginning, it was very overwhelming. And I just it took me a while to figure out, okay, what can I do and what I have to understand what my limitations are. So I just started with small things, with just taking care of myself. I'm if I could just have a cup of tea, some quiet time, just being able to take my vitamins. I'm like, if that's the only thing I can do daily, that's a win. Um, and then obviously, if I'm able to go out with a girlfriend or like have some coffee, coffee date with my husband, those are always, extra perks, or to be able to go to a concert, major. Um, but just the little things really make a big difference, and just really having it as part of your routine, as what you do with your loved one. You just roll that into your routine.
And you do such a good job at that. You are always on call in so many ways, juggling so many things. Who do you call on for your support?
My sister. My sister is my ride or die. um, if she can, because I know that my sister also has her own family and work life, and she's trying to balance things too. But that is who I really reach out and connect with the most. And if I need to, I reach out to friends that I can pay to come and hang out with mom for a little bit. But that happens once in a while because that can get a little expensive after a while. Um, but yeah, my sister and of course my husband. He's my rock, and he's my major support here at home.
Thanks for coming on the show, Alma. If you're a sandwich generation caregiver or know someone who is, we'd love to hear your story and connect you with our caregiver community for resources, tools, and a whole lot of support. Email us at podcast@patientsrising.org. There's a link to that email in the show notes. You can follow us on social media by searching at Patients Rising on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. We'll be back with a new episode in just 2 weeks. And remember that while caregiving is common, caregivers are special.